Hi, my name's Linda Stewart, and I want to raise my hand for life. My story is that I grew up in a great Christian home in Southern California, and I was the good girl, and good girls don't get pregnant. But in December of 1973, I was 6 weeks pregnant. I was suicidal, I was scared, my boyfriend offered to pay for an abortion. About that time, I also had a sinus infection, and I went to my regular doctor. He was sick, so I saw the director of the clinic that day, Dr. John Schmidt. And when Dr. Schmidt found out I was pregnant, he sent the nurse out of the room and he counseled me for 45 minutes alone. He talked to me about my spiritual beliefs, about my parents, about my boyfriend, talked to me about adoption and marriage and parenting. And he told me that at 3 weeks my baby had a heartbeat, that at 6 weeks my baby's nervous system was already in place. And then he told me about Roe versus Wade. He said this terrible thing had happened in January of 1973, that year, and that it probably wouldn't last very long, but that was the law of the land right now, and that my parents might think that that's the best thing. So he empowered me to make the decision myself. He said, you're going to have to live with it, and this pregnancy is going to be with you the rest of your life no matter what. And so before I left that day, he put his hand on my shoulder and he prayed, Dear God, thank you for this tiny little baby growing in Linda's womb. Thank you for its fingers and toes and its little heart pumping blood. Thank you, dear God, that you know the plans you have for this baby, and they are for hope in the future. And so I left that day confident that I could make my own decision. The very next day, my mom found out that I was pregnant, and she took me to Planned Parenthood. And the ladies there said it was an egg yolk, that I might have some cramping and bleeding after the procedure, but that I would never have to think about it again. My mom made the appointment, and we left. Well, driving home, I kept thinking, Dr. Schmidt didn't say it was an egg yolk. He said that it had a heart, that it had fingers and toes, that it was a life that God knew. And so I refused the abortion, and my boyfriend and I were married in January, and in August our son was born. In the years since then, God has blessed us. Here's my husband, Paul. He's the love of my life for 38 years now. Here are our 3 children and 7 grandchildren and their spouses, and we thank God for each of them. And in the years since then also, for the last 15 years, I've been the director of a crisis pregnancy center in Guthrie, Oklahoma. And we share the same things with the girls today and the couples, that God knows their situation and that God has a way through it. And we share with them hope, just as Dr. Schmidt shared with me. And also, my mom said that whenever I share this story, I need to remember to say that that little problem, that Jeremy, that he became the joy of our lives. Thank you.